Welcome to the Light in You podcast, a place where inner wisdom meets everyday life with your hosts, Beth and Kathy. We're here to help you reconnect to your presence and light and remember your true self. Hello, everyone, and welcome. Kathy and I are so happy that you're here today. We wanted to hop on first and share a little bit about ourselves. So my name is Beth. I am a holistic practitioner, sound healer. I also am a meditation and presence teacher. I work with energy and help others to intuitively tap into that own purpose and passion within themselves. Kathy, why don't you take it away?
And I'm Kathy. I'm a quantum guide and Akashic Records channeler. I do guided meditation and QHHT and much more. And today we're going to be talking about Lionsgate, the Lionsgate portal. So I love Lionsgate because it's a time when there are so many light codes and higher frequencies that are coming in that really can assist me in manifesting. So that's just one of the things that I love about Lionsgate. And Beth, what about you?
Yeah, there's just a lot more available energy, right? So there's that alignment of Leo and Sirius, and also the collective energy around people, because we know how much that plays into our available energy as belief systems. And so the portal is late July and going through, I believe, the 12th-ish of August. So it's already been happening, but it peaks on the 8th. And so we are just beginning this beautiful journey of Light in You podcast. And we thought, what a perfect time to unveil this whole idea. And so Kathy and I have been friends for a long time, and we both share this passion of helping people come back to their presence and really align with their purpose, their passions. And truly, that's what we feel is the light within you, are those things. And so we're going to do some stuff today, and we hope that you come into that place within yourselves, whatever that looks like. So this is a time for you to turn off your phones, come into yourself. And Kathy, you're going to start us off with an Akashic record.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm going to start off with an Akashic Records channeling that I did. I channeled it a little bit before we started recording, so it's very fresh. And in case you don't know what the Akashic Records are kind of like the book of life. It's all about you. And so what I did when I opened the Akashic Records, I opened it for the collective of the listeners of the Light in You podcast. So this is for all of you that are listening right now. And how my process is that I do when I channel in the Akashic Records is I journal. Some call it automatic writing, I guess. And so I'm going to read you what this amazing message what I got today. So, and here's what the Akashic guides said. Greetings, beloved beings of light. The energies available to you now during the Lionsgate portal carry a supercharge. We invite you to be aware of your thoughts, your speech, your actions, so that you are calling forth and manifesting only that which is for your highest good. There is a specific transmission that we bring to you now, if you say yes. And by saying yes and listening to these words we speak to you, you are receiving it. This is a transmission of courage. Courage for you to take that step towards something you have been dreaming of. Courage to move beyond situations and relationships that no longer serve your highest good. Courage to step into practices that may have seemed daunting and out of reach until now. We invite you to take a deep breath in through your nose, hold at the top, and as you exhale slowly out of your mouth, imagine these fears and outdated programming and beliefs that have been holding you back, leaving your body with your breath in that exhale, releasing the energy back into the world to be recycled. Now we invite you to take another deep breath in through your nose. Imagine the light expanding and feel the space, the expansiveness inside you. You have made room for the new. The space and courage is available to you to step into the new. Let your thoughts, speech, actions reflect what you truly wish to manifest for your highest good. Embody the light within you. We thank you for receiving this transmission of courage.
That's so beautiful.
It it
Thank you.
was.
Oh
It
my
was.
gosh.
You're welcome. And it was so different than it just really felt different to me than what normally I'm channeling one-on-one for people. Um, but this just felt just so much bigger. And so it was an honor to channel that for everyone. So
And so let's talk a little bit about that because when we do have courage and we put ourselves in these places in our lives, when we follow that little spark of energy and say yes,
mhm,
it does open parts of us up. And not only does it open our energy up within us, but it also connects us to others, right? Anytime we have
right.
that spark, there's someone out there that is wanting to receive what it is that we have to offer. And it's
Exactly.
such an important thing to remember because very often, well, we know this handy little chart here. When we come into a place of courage, when we're coming into that place of courage, we're in our power, right? And when we're beneath there, all the way down to shame, it's it's sometimes hard, right, to make that leap.
Hmm.
And what happens with these activations and these energetic shifts that we're offering through this podcast is some of the work is getting done for you in a way by just saying yes, right? So you've opened
Right.
yourself up to that portal. It's so beautiful.
Exactly. And I love that they just invited everyone to like say yes. And if you're not ready, it's okay. We all have free will. We all get to choose, whether we say yes or, you know, I'm saying yes, but not right now. I'm not ready. So whenever the time is right. And do you want to explain what the chart is that you showed everyone? So in case they're not familiar with it.
100%. So this is a map of consciousness, scale of consciousness, and David Hawkins is the one who created it. And so he wrote Power versus Force, Map of Consciousness Explained, so many good ones. And the idea is that each place within the chart identifies with the type of consciousness. So over here is inaction, hyperactivity, happiness and productivity, peak performance without stress, and happiness and product and synchronicities. Synchronicity and extraordinary outcomes. I apologize. So when we're in that state of joy and peace, we are experiencing synchronicities and extraordinary outcomes. When we're in fear, we're in inaction, which makes a lot of sense, right?
Yeah, right, right.
And so it's so powerful just to see this written down and have an image that we get to be with because it's all beautiful. It's not that fear is bad. Fear is
Mhm,
saying, hey, there's something to pay attention to right now. But when we get stuck on one of those floors, I call them, then we become unable to float around like we're meant to, meaning having life flow through us. And so the
right.
way that we get to be on all of the floors and be in all the parts of life is through presence, right? And so
Hmm.
this process of being with what is coming through you, especially in this powerful time. So, a lot of people will say Lionsgate is new beginnings, Lionsgate is abundance, right? All these places.
Hmm.
But for some people, maybe it's boundaries, and that equals a new beginning for them. So, wherever it is that you're at, paying attention to what floor you're on,
Hmm.
and then being in your body. And we're going to go through a meditation at the end that I'm going to show you how to do this, where you get to have the chance to connect to what is coming through you because each one of those states of being is information.
Hmm. Hmm. And we'll put a link in the show notes in case people aren't familiar with that so they can find a copy of that online or find more information about it because they may want to find one they can print out and have available. But I love that the guides brought through courage today, right? And it goes with what you're saying, like courage to manifest what we want and courage to set those boundaries, right? So it doesn't matter where we're at on that scale, right? It's like that's your starting point. That's where you can begin to utilize these energies that are coming through right now. Start where you are, right? There's no right or wrong. There's no everything is happening to you to get you further along your path. So a lot of people will say, "Oh, I made a wrong choice here," or "I made a wrong choice there." And when I go into the Akashic Records and I ask, on behalf of the people that I'm channeling for, the Akashic Records always say, no, there's no wrong choices. Like there's absolutely no wrong choices. Everything is just getting you further down your path where you need to go. Now, you may have gone off a little in the wrong direction, but not even the wrong direction, but you may have gone in a direction that you didn't feel was, advantageous to your highest good. But that's where the beauty of it is. That's where the magic that comes in is that you realize it and go, oh yeah, this isn't really what I really wanted. Let me just go ahead and, move on over to the other path. So yeah.
Absolutely. And I think that what you're saying really ties back to what was brought forth in the message about feeling your way through life.
Hmm.
And when you come into your body and you're in this place of presence within you, you start to feel, okay, how am I feeling today? Oh, I'm actually a little angry about something. And so when you be with the anger, it's not that you are angry, it's actually that you're experiencing a state of being, right? So you're
Right.
experiencing that.
Hmm.
And if you stay in the body and find where it is, very often you have an image of the past or a feeling, another feeling come through. So a feeling lasts for 30 to 90 seconds. It's only in the not hanging out with it that we are not able to be with it and process it. And that's how we get stuck. So feeling into what it is and connecting that information, like you said, maybe it's a boundary, then you're able to move and be in those places of life, right? Just being like children are so good at having
Hmm.
an experience and allowing life to move through them.
Right.
And so what happens is you start to really get in tune with how you feel. And then you realize as you're about to make an action or you're about to say something, you're like, wait a minute. I've been in this place of peace all morning, but now all of a
Hmm.
sudden I'm going to do something. How do I feel about that?
Hmm.
It's really, really powerful. And I think you and I were just talking about this before the podcast. I didn't know what was coming through for the message, but that's a huge part of it is feeling into these places in your life that
Hmm.
maybe you're feeling like my energy is going up or my energy is getting whatever.
Hmm.
What does that mean?
Yeah, and that's like the choice point, right? Where you pause and you're like, wait a minute. Like this is not, and you get to choose differently than you normally would have. Like before, you might not have even paused, right? You might have just rolled right into acting on those feelings and just, go to that place where you don't really want to go without even realize that you're going there. But now when you realize it and there's that pause and you're like, oh wait, this doesn't feel like it really aligns with, I don't like this energy. I don't want to go down this path. And you get to choose and you get to choose differently. And so that's the beauty. That's the beauty of it. I really, yeah, when that happens, I'm always just amazed for myself, because I'm like, wow, well, that really happened. Okay.
Powerful, right? Yeah,
Yeah, it is.
conscious. And
Hmm.
another thing about something you said of feeling into it, those perspectives are always going to feel really good or they're not going to feel good.
Hmm.
And the reason is because there is not as much energy flowing through you. So we can even frame this in a different way by saying, okay, the perspective in which I'm viewing something is smaller down here.
Hmm.
And we're going to go into this like other podcasts down the road to really understand what this is really saying. But as you come into courage and come into your whole body, right? Because this is being caught up in the looping thoughts. This is presence. This is only in the mind, the physical thinking mind. This is being embodied in your energy in your whole body. And so you're getting the big picture up there, which is
Mhm.
allowing more energy to flow. So it always feels better. And really the trick is, or the place to come into is understanding you're shifting your perspective,
Mhm.
right? So allowing that to flow.
Yeah, and I think another important thing that just kind of dropped in right now, as you're talking about this, was that, like we said, the energies are heightened right now on Earth. And so a lot of times we pick up things that aren't ours, but we don't know they're not ours until we actually pause for that moment and say, why am I feeling like this? And then questioning it, is this mine? Because 10 minutes ago I felt fine. And now I just feel like I have this weight on my shoulders, and just allowing ourselves to that pause to also realize, wait, I don't think this is really mine. So let me go ahead and shift my energy back. Um, so,
Yeah. And really what you're saying is calling your energy back to you, because very often we're not in our own energy, we're outside thinking about others, or we're in the past or the future. But
mhm,
really the only time is right now in our presence.
right,
That's where we have the most power, and that's where we also have access to the greatest amount of energy to be flowing through us and creating in life. And so, yes, it is hugely powerful to be in your own energy. And that is part of what we're going to be doing in this
mhm.
meditation.
And that's how you can really tell, I think, also, as you're like, if you're feeling fear, really questioning yourself and saying, okay, am I really in the now moment? Because typically that's when we're living in the past or we're living in the future, right? When we have these fearful thoughts of like, oh, this might happen, or oh, this happened. Why did I make that choice? Right. And so bringing ourself and our energy back to this now moment really helps to pull you out of those like looping thoughts that you mentioned before.
Yeah, and if you think about it, like just a shift in perspective, it's not even that we're being pulled anywhere. Very often we use this terminology and it can make us feel like we're victims in ways.
Mm-hmm.
But really, it's where we're placing our awareness, where our
Right.
perspective is. So if we are thinking, they did this really interesting study where they put people in a movie theater, and some of them were afraid of spiders. And so they gave them boxes and they're hanging out with the boxes. And then all of a sudden they're like, and inside the boxes are a bunch of spiders, right? And so everyone's like, oh my God, now they're holding it. So whether or not there truly were spiders in there, the thought alone is creating that
Right.
in our body.
Exactly.
So that's something that is so important to really, really hone in on,
Mm-hmm.
bringing your awareness back to you in the present moment. What it does is, and breath work, it allows our brain waves to go into more coherence. As we're in our heart, our brain can be in coherence as well. And we're going to do that with this meditation. It's so powerful because it allows us to be in these states of consciousness that are less thoughts, right? And so when we can be in those calm states, it's really a superpower.
Mm-hmm.
Huge, huge superpower. It's so different
Right.
than the world is used to, right? We're out here and there's
Mm-hmm.
all the things,
Noise, noise, noise.
and the tiger that we're in fight or flight about is actually just the bill that we have to pay, or the conflict with our partner, or whatever it is. But as we are able to come back to us rather than thinking about the partner or thinking about the bill, our body has a chance to come back into homeostasis.
Mm-hmm. Right. And kind of emptying our mind of those thoughts, those looping thoughts, really allows us to open up to those, divine messages that we need to receive, that we need to hear. Because if our brain is just full of all the noise, it's harder to receive those messages, right? So,
Yeah, and our physiology is sort of like prompting that. And so when we bring our awareness back to ourselves, bring it to the heart or the belly, right? Because it's used to being up,
mhm,
drop it down, and then bring in the breath that literally is changing our physiology, which is changing our brain waves. So you could say we're emptying something, but again, it's like almost like we are shifting our physiology
Hmm.
and we're shifting our perspective to the now, which in that place, there isn't the spider or the tiger, right?
Right.
And so sometimes we think we have to, especially in the world of transformation, right? We've got to process the trauma and we've got to do all these things. But what we're really offering you and I is these simple practices to come into these places and states of being, which is really reframing.
Right.
It's just reframing everything of
Right.
processes that we are used to. And it doesn't mean we still aren't processing because that is the point of processing of being there, right? But it's almost like we are creating more to process by being
Hmm.
states, right? Rather than, okay, what
Right.
is this thing right now? Rather than all the things.
Right. And that's part of that, like those old beliefs, because we're taught, oh, meditation has to be a certain way. Oh, this has to be, this spiritual practice has to be a certain way. But it's all about you and what feels good for you and what you can do. Because I get that message a lot for people because they're like, oh, I can't meditate, and then the Akashic Records are like, whatever works for you. If it's 5 minutes walking in nature and that's what, go for a walk. And if that's what helps for you, or if it's driving in your car just with no radio on, no noise, right? No music, and just allowing, because your brain's busy driving, allowing those thoughts to come in that you need to hear, right? Those messages that you need to receive. It's like whatever works for you. And like I always like to call it I have my car portal and then I have my shower portal where I get a lot of messages in, right? Because that's where the least amount of outside noise, if I control it, and not allow it to come in and just let that be that quiet kind of like void space. So,
Yes, and that happens too. I think it's from 2 to 6 is when our pineal gland is the most active,
mm,
but also where the area where we live is less active. And so, because we're connected to everything, we're not in that place of all the noise, right? From all the
mhm,
connections to the people, meaning there is a part of us that on some level is perceiving all these things with everyone, right?
right.
And so often I hear, oh no, I was up at this time, and I would even say the same thing for myself. But then I started to write and see what was available and possible during that time. And it's amazing what flows through you because
Hmm.
you are connected to that part, especially with the pineal gland, which we could talk for a whole episode about
Yeah, maybe we need to do that.
that. um, but yeah, it's truly about understanding what am I focusing on, and the word meditation means to become familiar with. So you're becoming truly familiar with yourself in whatever practice that is. You could be folding laundry, you could be
Right.
driving. You're just becoming familiar.
Mhm.
And speaking of which, how about we segue into that beautiful meditation?
Yes, let's do it.
All right, so if it's comfortable for you,
And please not if you're driving, do this later.
such a good point. No meditation and driving.
Not like this.
I know. And that very often we do put these things in our life, right? Like we're doing one thing, we're
Hmm.
adding in another. I love listening to things when I'm driving, but I also love hearing nothing while I'm driving too. It's really beautiful because the brain really wants to have just a couple of things to focus on. And when we get to this place where we're doing many,
Hmm.
it actually can overwhelm the brain. So
Right.
yeah, pause and come back to this when you can take some time. So for those of us that are in a place to relax, you can either be seated or lying down, standing's fine too. Paying attention to your spine being straight. So just feeling in a relaxed posture, your spine having a little bit of length if you were to imagine that your head is being pulled by a string from above, but again, just relaxed in that way. You don't want to strain anything because then that is antithetical to the relaxation process. And coming into the body and finding wherever the breath is landing. And just inviting that breath to be a little bigger, a little fuller. If it's comfortable, breathing in through your nose and out through your mouth. You also can breathe out through your nose. We're going to slow the breath down, maybe to a 6 or a 7 or an 8 count, whatever feels good for you. So breathing in, and then allowing that breath whenever you're ready to come out. And as you're doing this, allowing the body to be activated. So if you're breathing down into your belly, if that feels comfortable for you, allowing the belly to rise and fall. There's this beautiful woman who talks a lot about fascia, and there's been a lot of evidence with having 4 breaths a minute and how powerful that is, which ends up being around 6 to 7 or 7 to 8, depending on where you're at, seconds in and out. But what you're doing right now is just finding that place of balance. So where the breath feels good and your awareness is in your body. And if you have pain or any tightness, bringing your awareness to that spot and imagining the breath is coming in through the area. So it's coming in through the body. It's coming in from the front and the back and the sides. And it's just activating that space. And where you put your awareness is where your energy flows. You may see an image come up or have a feeling come through. All we're practicing right now is being in our body, becoming familiar with our body, and inviting that breath to have a little length, a little slower. And if you have these intruding thoughts, imagining that your mind is like the sky. And in that place of expansion and the beautiful sky, your thoughts are clouds that are passing by. So there's space between you. Just keeping your awareness down in your body. Just like you're training a puppy or training someone in your life, you're teaching them or helping them, guiding them. Doing the same for you with kindness. Just bringing your awareness back down. And what we want to be during this time is aware of how we're feeling. So finding that baseline of how you're feeling. And you can spend more time with this practice. Move to different parts of your body. This practice is all about being in you. And now finding an area that you feel an opening. And if you don't know where that is, just intend, find a spot. And in that area of your body, just seeing this beautiful light come through. It could be white light, whatever color comes to you is perfect. Just allowing that light that you are to spread through your body. Just filling you with joy, filling you with peace. Breathing into the heart as you're doing this. Perhaps it's unconditional love. And if your mind is still capturing your attention, just continue to bring down your awareness down into the belly, down into the heart. You're setting an intention for this time of Lionsgate. What is it that you wish to bring into your life, to bring forth to the world? Perhaps it's more peace, prosperity. Perhaps there are some places in your life where you're ready to create something new, inviting the energy of new beginnings, asking your body, where is it that I would like a fresh start and a new beginning? And just feel that light continuing to flow through your body. Perhaps there's another place where it's being called. And just honoring this flow, this light that you are, that is brought forth into the world and all the lives you touch. You are this light, and allowing this part of you to truly shine from within. Just asking yourself, is there any place in my life that I need to give myself permission to do this? Is there any part of me that I need to be aware of to allow more of my light to shine? And whenever you're ready, you can begin to wiggle your fingers and toes. Continuing to focus on the breath and allowing that natural rhythm to perhaps be corrected a little. Maybe this breath that you're feeling allows you to feel more alive. And so you'll take this practice into your day. When you wake up, spend a few minutes in the breath. You're driving, standing in line at the store, just seeing where you can bring this practice into your daily life and shift your brain into a greater state of coherence, your body into a deeper place of relaxation, allowing this balance and flow. And whenever you're ready, you can open your eyes and come back to this now moment together. Thank you all so much. Thank you, Kathy.
Beautiful. Thank you.
Thank you to those who will listen to this in the future. It's all happening for us and with us and all around.
Mm-hmm.
Well, my lady, as they say, that's a wrap for our first official.
Yes. Thank you all for being a part of it. And thank you, Beth, for what you've brought forth today and co-creating with me.
It has been an honor. Thank you. And until next time, here's to
Yes.
very beautiful, bright,
Mhm.
blessed rest of your day or night, wherever you are. Thank you for tuning
I'll
in.
see you next time.